If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at vinsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft. Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
No friendships for you.
That's okay. Thank you. All right. Huh? Okay. We are doing the Savatage live stream for the big homie Mojo. He is our DJ today. If you want to know how to become one of our DJs, watch the commercial.
I don't think it actually tells you how to be a DJ in the commercial because that was shot before we even invented DJ streams.
Okay, that's true. I apologize.
All right, guys, here we go.
All right, Ghost in the Ruins is track 11, which is up next. Our DJ Mojo said this song has probably been my favorite of Chris's solos on the album. One of the things that has continually stood out about this band is that even though they've had some of the most capable rock and metal lead guitar players in the world playing in the band, even after Chris's death, they never felt the need to shoehorn a guitar solo into a song just because. If a song called for a solo, it got one. If a song didn't serve the song, if a solo didn't serve the song, it was not put in. That's the way it should be. Both John and Chris wear their influences on their sleeves and with no apologies. In the first part of this solo, Chris is without a doubt channeling David Gilmour. Do you know who that is?
The Pink Floyd. As if you're asking me that question while you have a Pink Floyd shirt on. That's Pink Floyd.
I know, but oh, you found it. Good, Dorian.
Unbelievable, this woman.
Rude.
And she's your guys' favorite. Ridiculous. I should be the favorite.
Nobody ever said I was their favorite.
Oh, please. Anytime I show up without you, that's the first thing people say. They'd be like, "Hey, we're sorry."
Yeah, and you think if I show up without you, they wouldn't say, "Where's Vin?"
Yeah, no. They talk to you. They have the whole thing. There's one time I was gone for half an hour, and they were talking to me just fine. Stop. I'm by myself for 2 seconds. They're like, "Hey, Vin, we're sorry."
Please, babe. You come at me for hours.
It'll be an ask me anything. Where's sorry? That'll be the question.
That's the question.
Yeah.
Well, I'm your other half. I'm your better half.
You're my second self. Okay. Savatage. Ghost in the Ruins. Let's go. See, Dwayne even admits it.
Even after I gave it a 3.5?
You gave the Beatles a 3.5. Look, you get away with absolute bloody murder here. You are the Trump of this channel.
That's so bad.
Unbelievable.
Trump.
Just get away with everything.
That's what got Ben to hate me.
That's true.
So don't even bring up Trump.
That's true.
You know, to be honest with you, I am a little bit sad.
And now poor Ben is here, but under a different name because he embarrassed himself. He said he'd never watch us again, but now he has to show up under a different name.
Do you think he's here?
Huh?
You think he's here?
Oh, he's here right now. Hi, Ben. Your secret's safe with me, buddy.
Hi, Ben.
As is your dignity. Okay, here we go. Ghost in the Ruin, Savatage, Streets, a rock opera list.
Yeah, let's check this out.
Oh, I love that setting.
Twain. That's nice.
Got a limousine, I wanna show it. Future's looking good, I'll probably blow it. Had some parents once that you never know.
Oh, this band is ridiculous, dude. This band is ridiculous, bro. Oh my
Man,
god.
I really liked the beginning of it. The whole thing was really good.
I love that setting, that flange setting. The first time I discovered that setting on my Digitech distortion pedal, everything was in that, bro. Like, yes,
Really?
look how pretty this sounds. Yeah! Brings a tear to your eye. Man. Damn,
I thought you were gonna
damn.
say that's how you got the bad bitches by your side. Was that setting?
No. The bad bitches were in New York City. They didn't care about my guitar playing. You kidding me? Keep
They
that
would have
secret.
if you would have showed it to them.
You don't really want that gunplay, huh?
I think they would have if you would have showed it to them.
I wouldn't have showed it to them. I didn't have time to practice. Well, no, actually. But that was well before I got my guitar, though, when I was running around.
Oh, okay. All right, so this one.
What
okay.
the hell are you looking for? Can a young man make money anymore? Let my G tag down to the floor? Really doesn't matter just as long as I score? Can't my girl look better than yours? Can I have a bad bitch without no flaws? Come to see me. Actually. All right, let's go back to your
Wait
regularly
a minute.
scheduled
Where was
program.
that going?
Back to our regularly scheduled program. Already in process, dear listener.
I wish we had some hip hop heads that would finish that line. You always do that, and all of a sudden you're like, what?
All
Okay,
right.
so he said that in the next two songs, he was going to meet a couple different people. So he said a homeless man, a pimp, a drug addict, and a prostitute. Obviously, this is about a prostitute. Maybe a pimp also? Because it
think this guy
starts
might
out
be
being, they got the money, got a limousine, I want to show it. Future's looking good, I'll
I think
probably
this is
blow
the
it.
pimp.
That's what I was thinking, the pimp. And then later on, we're talking, obviously, about the prostitute. So
Who am I
friggin'
fooling? I'm the
sad.
king of the ruins. But I'm doing well. I got dreams to sell tonight. Yeah, that's definitely a pimp.
Mm-hmm.
This is really interesting because
Wow,
it's setting
the two
it's setting
sides of that.
both the pimp and the prostitutes essentially as victims here, because the pimp is a ghost in the ruin. Who can finish Finn's convoluted bars?
I can't even see what, like, my eyesight is not very good when I'm pregnant usually, so I can't see if that's a heart or if it's a tongue sticking out.
It's probably her knee or something like that.
It's a tongue.
Her knee.
Okay, so yeah,
So
that's
the
interesting.
pimp and the girl are
Because both of them are
ghosts
ghosts in the
In the ruins.
But he's creating a situation where I mean, if I had to be one of the two, although, obviously nobody wants to be, well, I don't think, like, the way that they describe this prostitute, that's just so friggin' sad. But at the same time, like, you're the type of person that sells human beings.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Yeah.
that's you.
I forgot. I think it was Rachel Held Evans that prayed this prayer. She said, Lord, we pray for freedom for the enslaved and for the enslaver. And I remember that. And I remember being really offended by that. Then I was saying, well, I mean, yeah, you do that because you're enslaved to sin, right? So you're still a victim of your own, and, there's certain situations in which sin is its own punishment.
It's very true.
Receiving in their bodies a due penalty for their error. So, like,
Yeah.
there's some of that going on with a pimp. Like, he looks like he's on top of the world, but he himself
Dave,
is.
you are so funny to me.
Huh?
So you heard this woman praying, and you were offended by her prayer?
Oh yeah. Like, what is this fucking?
Does that?
What do you mean?
I
Well, I
mean,
didn't want any prayer or any forgiveness for enslavers.
yeah, I know, but I just, like, there's just some things that even if I would have felt that way, I would never have even let myself get to that point to think that I feel that way. Because, like, you're hearing someone's prayer and you're offended by their prayer. They're talking to God, not you.
Yeah, well, I don't want them to talk to God on behalf of those people. What?
Yeah, I get it. That makes sense.
I don't do the Christianity thing where I'm supposed to do X,
I
Y,
know,
and Z.
but that's
Like,
what's so funny.
I just tell God how I feel about shit. He basically said, "Yeah, just you'll figure it out one day. Don't worry about it."
How long did it take before you were like,
It took me years.
that's acceptable?
No, it took me years because something happened, and I was able. Well, actually, no, it was when we were in the gutter with those people, and we found that couple, that couple, remember, he was her pimp, and then
Yeah.
they were kind of together, but
Yeah.
he really wasn't. He was
Yeah.
pimping her out, and she was pregnant. She was about to have an abortion.
Yeah.
And, you know.
She didn't know she kept that baby, and she is doing so good.
And like
That
him,
baby is her.
the guy couldn't
gift.
stay out of prison. That guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so then the line popped into my head when I realized, because I said to somebody, like, he's just as trapped as she is. He can't get out of shit either, because everybody in the neighborhood knows him as that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like he's going to get a legitimate job. This guy's got a
Right.
high school diploma, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah.
Oh,
So I'm like, he's just as fucked in this. And then that's when the line popped back into my head.
Really?
And then I said, oh, okay, well, now I understand. And that's how my relationship with God works, dear listener. I'm not recommending you try it at home, but if something doesn't make sense to me, I'm not going to pretend. I don't care how holy the moment is. I'm going to say, yo, this is bullshit, man.
All
Fuck
right.
them slavers.
All right.
So anyway, that's how I looked at it. But, you know,
This is what it reminded me of when you. It is acceptable. Dorian sent me that. It's just a meme. It is acceptable. That's how you felt. I guess you accepted that woman's prayer toward God.
yeah,
that's good.
but they're both, you know, they're both ruined individuals. But there's got to be another layer of ruination if you are a person who can take because a lot of the girls in the sex industry, people don't understand. They think it's like, you know, especially I always like when I hear neoliberals talk and they're like, we need to make prostitution completely legal, and then we can regulate it. It'll be safer for everybody. It's like they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Those people, and they live in this very simplistic world because they think they're looking at these relationships as business transactions. So the pimp is not really a pimp; he's a manager. She's, you know, just using sex. It's just another stream of income. Yada yada yada. What they don't realize is the vast majority of what you're calling a pimp is a dude that has convinced a harem of women that he's their boyfriend.
Yep.
That's what's happening. So a lot of these people with these laws and the way you can tell that they're only looking at this like from an outsider's perspective, that they've never really been in the gutter with these people. And you could tell they don't understand what the dynamics are, because then you have the bottom bitch, and the bottom bitch, really what that means is that person is basically like the aunts in Handmaid's Tale. She's the one that keeps the other women in line and all the rest of it. And he's got her convinced that even though he's screwing all these girls and she's just on the street just like everybody else, he has that woman convinced that she's his person. And he has them all convinced of that. And the newest one, he's got her convinced that he's bored with all of them and all the rest of it. A lot of it works in a relationship. And so when you look at the lyrics here, it's very interesting because you could tell that the pimp knew that. See the runaway there in the corner just to throw away, but somebody's daughter. Had a pretty face, so somebody bought her. Selling her soul away so to put in your order.
She's selling her soul away, so put in your order.
And then right here, you know, in the second part of the lyrics when they repeat the chorus, but now they're talking about her.
Well, maybe it's this part that you were going to say. She wants to belong. She knows what to do.
Right.
She's got to hang on. Ghost in the ruins.
Right. She wants to belong. And so that's people don't understand that once this guy's got about 4 or 5 women, now those women become like this sort of secret club of lawbreakers and sufferers. And it creates this weird subculture that a person who's an outsider wants to be a part of. And the really good pimps use all of these mechanisms: fear, daddy issues, fear of being alone, not the popular girl, not desirable, blah. He brings all of that together to get these girls to work for him. And it's that's why when I hear people talking about, that's why we hear people talking about like making it legal, we'll regulate it and make it safer for them. Like, you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. No, it will not. So
it's so hard because like the more time that I spend thinking about
the Nordic model has been used to great effect in Europe, not the New Zealand model.
Right.
Where in New Zealand you release all 3 phases of the sex game and they immediately become a destination country for sex traffickers. The Nordic model, which decriminalizes the woman, has been shown to have really, really good results. But not when you release all 3. But
I think that it's like the more time that I spend thinking about girls in that situation, the more I realize that they really are kind of stuck in this rut. Rut is so mild compared to what I found, like, the more I think about it, because you're in a situation where you're being used by men and you're stuck because
and
of the
women
pimp.
sometimes.
Yeah, and
That's got to be addressed.
Oh my God. And women sometimes. And so you're in that situation, but when these girls, once they've already been doing that, the way that women treat them is so horrible, and like, you get what you get, and like, where's the compassion? They're cold and they're evil to these girls. And I'm like, where do these girls have to go? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that there are lots of parents that if their daughter had done that they would, at any second, if they found out or they knew or they wanted, there's probably lots of parents that would say, baby, come back home. But there's got to be all kinds of parents that just think they're ashamed or whatever, and they just throw out their daughter too. She has no place to go, or maybe she didn't have supportive parents growing up, and just the idea that somebody is stuck in that system, in that place, and doesn't really know where to go, like how to get out of it, how to get safe.
That's what makes religious communities. That's what makes religious communities particularly dangerous, because you have multiple layers of society that can punish you for having the wrong kind of family. So, especially depending on the proximity to the family of the religious community. And notice, I'm not blaming the religion. I'm just saying, especially modern evangelical focus on the family kind of families, where they try to project this perfect family, and then you win all these societal payoffs, because you're in this great functional family, and all your daughters were virgins when they got married, and all this other, whatever. It creates environments where if the boy displays any feminine attributes, he gets shipped off to some camp. If the girl displays any sort of self-awareness in her sexuality, she's immediately become this thing of horror in our own household. It's very, very, and it creates situations like, I just feel like your run-of-the-mill secular parent that you would fare better as a child or young adult who made a mistake like that. I feel like the secular parent 9.5 times out of 10 is going to say, of course. Like, to me, it takes a religious community to get a parent to do that to their own child. And maybe I'm saying that because that's the only perspective I've lived in as an evangelical. And I'm not one of these, I'm deconstructed. I believe all the essentials of the faith, right? Like, Genesis to Revelation is completely and totally inspired by God, blah, blah. I believe in everything. But I'm not blaming religion, but I'm saying, like, that kind of particular cruelty to one's own child, we've pointed out a million times the particular cruelties that secularists do to their children, to the point where a lot of them don't have to worry about their daughter doing that and accepting their daughter because they've already killed their own daughter. So I'm not trying to say that secularists are better than religious people or vice versa. I'm just saying that particular scenario, to me, almost requires a religious element to get a parent to do that to their own child, where I feel like I said, your garden variety American secular humanists, I don't think that would ever happen. I don't think they do it. I just don't. But again, it's also that dynamic that these pimps, they take everything into account. They take everything into account, and people have no idea the psychological stranglehold that these people have over the minds of women. It's unbelievable.
I think the other thing too is that, if you don't, obviously our worldview is that every person, when they're born sinful. Like, a lot of people want to just look at a baby and say, oh, they're completely innocent. But then all of a sudden they start doing things and you're like, why? Who taught them that? Why are they doing this? Why are they throwing toys at that other kid? Why are they stealing from this other kid? Like, all these mean things that kids start displaying early on, where you're like, no, we know that nobody was assaulting anybody in front of these children. Like, where did they get this, And so when you have kids, you see that early on. But a lot of times people don't even realize that, hey, like maybe this was in them before. And they're just displaying, like, as they're getting older and their personality is coming out, like who they are is being shown, who they are is being shown. And so, like, I think that, you know, because people don't kind of have that, like, as a base presupposition, I guess you could say, that people are sinful, then, you know, you're raised with your family and you're going to see all the flaws of your family. And then you have this new person that comes into your life and you don't see all of that person's flaws, and they're going to present to you the best version of themselves. And so I think that sometimes the naivety of, how would you say that?
Naivete. Same
of,
thing.
of these girls is that they're looking at this person and like almost like they're like a savior type person. You know, they're going to do well, and then they end up, you know, pushing their family out because they're trying to maintain this relationship with this guy because they think, okay, this is it. But, and then the parent, you know, and then the kids get separated more from the parents. So I think that it's helpful for people to realize that if you only see good projected from someone and you never see anything negative, and there's something there.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, and you know, if they're specifically trying to separate you from your family members, that's a good indicator that you're in trouble.
Right.
The other thing about this is that the solo is incredible. The solo was absolutely incredible. The music is incredible. This vocalist to me is quickly becoming one of my favorite vocalists of all time.
He's really good.
And the thing is, a person could say, "Oh my God, you just heard the guy. You're being a prisoner of the moment." That's probably true. However, we're listening to 15, 16 songs of his in a row. I'm getting a good cross section of what this guy is capable of doing. So that is my retort. Even though it's very recent, I still don't think it's recency bias because I've been listening to a bunch of this guy's song. I just think, I don't even know what the guy's name is. I think it's John. I don't know. I know the guitarist is Chris. I know the guitarist is Chris, and then there's a John. I don't know anything else about this band. But I don't care. I know that this singer is probably better than your favorite singer. 9.9. What do you give the song?
Oh, man. 9.8. 9.8.
Whoa, very good, very good, very good. We have more songs on the way. The next one is called If I Go Away from the band Savatage. Stay where you are, dear listener. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone.